Hello children, welcome back to our English classes. So today we will be doing children with the vistas. I'll take the unit 2, that is unit 1 we have completed. We will start with unit 2, the Tiger King. This is a story written by Kalki. The name of the author is Kalki, and here the story goes like there is a king over here, and when he was born, the astrologers had foretold him something, and the story all resides in whatever the astrologers had said, and till his death the story goes on. Let us see what is the story all about. Okay children, so today we shall start with the summary of the story. Here it is said that when this king was born, that is when he was born, the astrologers foretold that he would grow up to be a warrior of warriors, the hero of heroes, but one day he would have to meet his death. At that very moment, the baby prince, who was only 10 days old, began to speak aloud, clearly but in a squeaky voice, and started questioning to the astrologers. The baby prince told them that it was a commonly known fact that anyone who took the birth in this world has to die one day, and the death needed no predictions. But he wanted to know the manner of his death. The chief astrologer told him that because he was born in the hour of the bull and the tiger were the enemies of his death, would be due to a tiger. The child was not even scared. In fact, he warned the tigers to be on their guard and beware of him. Okay, then this is just a story. Okay, you just hear it, and the summary will get into your mind directly. Okay, this is just a story, a very good story where you will grasp it over without any explanations. Okay, the little crown prince grew taller and stronger day by day. In his childhood, the little prince drank the milk of an English cow, was looked after by an English nanny, and tutored by an English man, and saw nothing but English films. He was crowned the king at the age of 20. The astrologer's prediction slowly reached his ears. He went on a tiger hunt and killed his first tiger. He happily sent for a state astrologer who warned him that his death would be due to the tiger. He might kill 99 tigers, but the 100th tiger would prove to be the fatal death for him. If the king would succeed in killing the 100th tiger, the astrologer promised to cut off his tuft of hair, burn all his astrology books, and become an insurance agent. The Maharaja now banned tiger hunting in his kingdom and passed an order that if anyone dared to fling so much as a stone as a tiger, all his wealth and property would be confiscated. The king was determined to prove the prediction wrong and vowed to attend to all the other kingdom matters only after killing the 100th tiger. So this was the thing what the king wanted to do, children. I definitely have this thing that you might have got the summary, that is what is the story all about. King is born, and here when he is born, an astrologer is foretelling him that this person in the hour of his birth has the bull and the tiger in his part of enemy. So his death would be because of a tiger. So here he says that okay, the person who is born on this earth, he is definitely going to die one day. So what to be so this thing? Why we do not have to plan it out? What are we going to do? The world is going on, and we just have to. The world goes on like this, and we are going accordingly. But Maharaja says that no, at the age of 20, now he has been crowned as a king, and he just want to kill all the tigers because he wanted to show off to that astrologer that whatever you have spoken is not a word of something which is the end of his life, but he will prove that it would be wrong, he said. The astrologer said that, okay, if I am proved wrong, I will burn all my books, and I will and become an insurance agent, and I'll cut off the tuft of the hair. That is, his hair would be cut if I will be proved wrong. Okay, then the Maharaja is like, he doesn't see anything, he doesn't do any work of the country or his kingdom. He is after the killing of the 100 tigers. He wanted to prove himself that the astrologer is wrong, and he doesn't want to be after saying that something is going to come in his mind after his life or whatever. So he wants to do his duty of just killing the tigers and prove that no, my life is my life, it is my kind of life what I am going to live. So he wants to prove that. So he's not doing any kind of work in the kingdom, and he is giving all the work to the divan or whoever the next level person might be. So here the secretary brought the news that Maharaja would kill the tiger, but the officer want to have only a photograph. Okay, students, 1 minute. I missed one para. Sorry for that. The Maharaja faced many dangers. Sometimes his bullet missed its mark. A tiger leapt upon him, and he had fight a beast with his bare hands, but each time he has won. A British officer visited Pratibandhapuram with a wish to hunt tigers. He was very fond of tigers. And took the pictures clicked with the dead body of the tiger. Then Maharaja was determined not to give any permission, as he wanted to kill the tigers for himself. He told that he would arrange a hunt for anything else but than a tiger for the officer, but the man wanted to hunt only tiger. So here comes a visitor, that is a British officer who visits Pratibandhapuram, that is his kingdom, and he says that I just want to click the photograph with the tiger, and I want to show off that I have killed a tiger. But this time Maharaja says that no, I can give you something else to for his hunt, but I cannot give you my tigers because the tigers are all mine. I would be killing the tigers. So he would not give him any permission for killing the tigers. He said, I don't want to kill any tiger. Okay, fine, but I want the dead tiger, and I just want to have a click with the dead tiger. I said, fine, I'll do something else. So the secretary brought the news that Maharaja would kill the tiger, but the officer wanted to have a photograph. The Maharaja refused the permission. He felt that if he relented, other British officers would turn up with the same request. He was now in danger of losing his kingdom. So after discussing with his divan, they came up with a plan. Now 50 diamond rings were sent to the British officer's wife from the famous British Company of Jewelleries in Calcutta. The Maharaja expected that she would choose one or two, but the greedy lady kept the whole lot. The bribe cost him 3 lakhs rupees, but the kingdom was saved. So he did this on this cost that he was going up to that level that he cannot do any kind of kingship work, but instead he bribed that officer by giving. He thought that this lady would not take the whole sum. He had sent 50 diamond rings to this British officer's lady, and she was so greedy that she took the whole lot. Now at the end, what happened is he had the loss of rupees 3 lakhs on that this thing. The Maharaja was successful in killing many tigers. Within 10 years, he was able to kill 70 tigers. So here within 10 years, he was able to kill 70 tigers. Now the tiger population became extinct. Extinct means extinct. The meaning of the word extinct, E-X-T-I-N-C-T, extinct means, children, it became lower in number. There are now, when we talk about our biological nature in biology, we are having an extinction of so many animals like dinosaurs or something like that. So they have become extinct in number. They are coming in the decreasing number of, there is no population of those kind of animals now in the world. So here same thing happened, because the Maharaja was killing each and every tiger in the kingdom. Now there is there is extinct in the kingdom, that there are no tigers left in the kingdom now. So he, with the discussion with the Diwan of his kingdom, he said that he called upon the Diwan and asked him to find a princess of a royal family in any of the native state with a large tiger population. Okay. The Diwan followed the order and found a match for the king. So here he said the Maharaja killed 5 or 6 tigers each time he visited his father-in-law. He managed to kill 99 tigers, and then, unfortunately, the tigers in his father-in-law's kingdom became extinct. Now, only 1 tiger remained to be killed. So here, when he had completed, that is, he in the span of 10 years, he completed killing 70 tigers. Now there is extinct in the kingdom, that there are no tigers left to kill in his kingdom. Now, discussing with the plan with the Diwan, he said, now what to do next, because I have to kill 100 tigers anyhow. So he said, fine, get a princess from any of the native states of this area, and see to it that this princess, wherever she is living, she have to have a large tiger population. So here that was the plan, and he finally got the he got finally married to the girl where there were population of tigers much in numbers. So here, in a span of when he here also he killed when after the marriage he was he managed to kill 99 tigers. Now, killing all these tigers, there was extinct in the father-in-law's place also. There are no tigers left in his father-in-law's place. There are no tigers left in father-in-law's place also. Now only 1 tiger left. So to kill this 1 tiger, what was he going up to? The Maharaja was upset as he was unable to find the last tiger. Suddenly there came the news that a tiger had been seen in a hillside village of his state. The Maharaja was so happy that the news that he announced a 3-year exemption from all the taxes for that village and set out a hunt at once. So he was so happy to hear that there is 1 tiger seen in the area, and he exempted all the taxes of that area, and he said that at once he went for this hunting. The tiger, it seemed, kept himself hidden, so the Maharaja's anger started increasing. So he couldn't find this tiger. He could not hunt this tiger because the tiger was hiding himself. Okay. So the king was becoming more of angry on the people. So he ordered that the land taxes should be doubled. Now, at the news that there was a tiger in this area, he exempted all the taxes. Now he is so angry because he cannot find that tiger. He cannot find the tiger, and so now he is making up the plan that he would be doubling the taxes. The Diwan tried to warn him. Now, listening to this, the Diwan of his kingdom, he said, he just warned him what would be what would happen if he was going to double the taxes. So Diwan tried to warn him and asked that such a measure should be proving a catastrophic for the kingdom. This would create much problems for the kingdom. So do not do this. He just warned him. The Maharaja got angrier and asked Diwan to resign. So here Maharaja he got more angry on Diwan and asked Diwan to resign from his post. In order to save himself, now Diwan got the last line saying that no, now you have to resign from the job. So now it is surprisingly getting an order for the resignation. The person cannot handle that. Okay, he said that okay, fine. To save himself, the Diwan decided to get the 100th tiger for the king. So he thought that now anyhow I will manage to bring that 100th tiger for the king. An old tiger was brought from the People's Park in Madras and kept hidden in his house. So he, what did he do? He went to the park, that is People's Park in Madras. There might be the zoo or something like that. And he kept that tiger. He bought a very old tiger from there and kept it. He put the tiger in his house. Okay. At midnight, when all were asleep, the Diwan and his wife dragged the old and weak tiger to the car and pushed it into the back seat, and the Diwan drove the car to the place where the Maharaja was hunting. Okay. Now the tiger resisted and refused to get out of the car. When this Diwan and his wife dragged the tiger into the back seat of their car, the old tiger which they had taken from the People's Park from Madras, and when they went near to the hunting area, the old tiger did not show that he just refused to get out of the car. The Diwan had to haul and push it down on the ground. So ultimately it was on the ground. Okay. The following day, the Maharaja was delighted to see the 100 tiger. He took careful aim and shot at the beast. The tiger fell in the crumpled heap. The Maharaja was filled with happiness at fulfilling his vow. He ordered the tiger to be brought to the capital in the grand procession, and he left in his car. After the Maharaja left, the hunters went to take a close look at the tiger. They were shocked to see that the tiger was still alive. The tiger had actually fainted from the shock of the bullet whizzing past him. They decided not to tell the Maharaja that he had missed his target. They feared losing their jobs. So one of the 100 hunters then killed the tiger himself, and the dead tiger was taken in the procession through the town and buried. A tomb was erected over it. So children, after achieving the feat, the Maharaja turned his attention to his child. Now he has completed his vow of killing 100 tigers. So in this span of years, he completed his vow and he killed all the 100 tigers. Now coming back to his personal life. So after achieving the feat, the Maharaja turned his attention to his child. It was his third birthday, and he wished to give him something special. He went for shopping but couldn't find anything worthy enough. Finally, he spotted a wooden tiger and bought it for his son from a toy shop. The wooden tiger was carved by an unskilled carpenter. Tiny slivers of wood stood up like quills all over it. One of the slivers pierced the Maharaja's right hand while he was playing with his son. He pulled it out and continued to play with his son. The next day, the infection spread in his hand. In 4 days, it developed into a festering sore which spread all over his arm. 3 surgeons from Madras operated upon him but were unable to save his life. Thus the 100 tiger took his revenge, and the Tiger King lost his life. The Tiger King is a satire on the pride of those in power. The story is a good mix of the supernatural and humor. So the Tiger King story comes to an end like this. Ultimately, it was not the real tiger but a toy tiger, that is a wooden tiger, killed the king, and this was the name given for him, the Tiger King. So this story comes to an end, children. Hope you have understood the story. If not, just ask me. If any doubt clearing session, I will be keeping it in span of small time. We will be having the doubt clearing session, so we'll be doing that in this thing. And if you have the book through the net, please go through your textbook so that the stories are clear in your mind, children. Okay, the summary is just the covering up story this thing lines of the story. But if you go on to the reading from the textbook, I know the pages might be more, but nowadays because there is no much work to do, you can very nicely read the story from either the laptop if you have, or from the computer, this thing, or otherwise don't strain your eyes seeing from the small screen of your mobiles. But if possible, you can just break it into small this thing, and you can read the story. Okay, so we have come to the session, that is the chapter that the Tiger King from Vistas. We have completed it. I will send you the summary, children, and we'll do the exercises later on. Okay, so till then, take care, bye, and take care of your parents too. Okay, thank you, children. Bye.